So first we had SPY breaking out, and then we had QQQ following up with the breakout. It was lagging a little bit. And now we've got a number of big and key tech stocks that are consolidating, and they are just short of breakouts. But these are bullish consolidations that we need to watch closely. Hey, this is Arthur Hill, Chief Technical Strategist at TrendInvestorPro.com. It is Thursday, December 3rd, and you're tuned in to Next Level Charting. Thank you very much for joining us. All right, so here I am on an SPY chart, and this is my proxy for the S&P 500. The S&P 500, of course, the single most important index to monitor if you want to know what the broad market trend is. Yeah, I know small caps have been outperforming lately, but the Russell 2000 accounts for like 8% of the total U.S. investable equity market. So it is the tail. S&P 500 is the dog, and the tail is not going to wag the dog. I am sorry. And if you look at SPY here, it's hitting a 52-week high. And yeah, so is IWM. But you know, SPY was hitting a 52-week high in early September and also in August. So it is still the leader overall. And if we look at this, chart here, first of all, we can see the trend composite there turned bullish in mid-July. And this is a composite of 5 trend following indicators. And so when you have at least 3 on bullish signals and 1 on a bearish signal, that gives you a net of +1, which we can see there. Yeah, we got a little bit of a whipsaw, but that's going to happen. And all 5 have been bullish since the early part of August. So that tells me that the trend is up clearly. And we don't always need an indicator to tell us that. We can see on the chart when you're hitting 52-week highs in August, clearly you're in a long-term uptrend. And so when we look at the structure of this trend here, you can see a big advance, a consolidation, another advance, a consolidation, a breakout. And now we've had a big consolidation. And a consolidation within an uptrend is typically a bullish continuation pattern. A guesstimate would suggest that 3 out of 4 times you're going to break out to the upside and continue higher. And so what we have here in SPY is a sort of triangle consolidation. And this is where prices are basically moving sideways. And then we get the breakout. And that was Vaccine Day, V-Day there on November 9th, and we're continuing higher. And the important thing is we're holding above this breakout zone, which you could roughly call 350. And I'm sorry, but the bears do not have a leg to stand on as long as you're above 350. Even a break below 350 would just be a short-term issue. It wouldn't reverse the longer-term uptrend. So if you look at SPY, it is clearly bullish, and the bears have yet to make any kind of a dent in this uptrend. Now, the bottom window shows the momentum composite, and you can see that 4 of the indicators were oversold in the momentum composite, and that was a nice signal for a mean reversion setup just prior to the breakout there. And the way these 2 indicators work, you use this indicator to define the trend, and then you use the momentum composite to look for oversold conditions to participate on pullbacks. And if you want to know more about the plugins on StockCharts ACP, there's that little search icon, and just click search and search for ACP plugin, and that'll take you to the plugin page or a link to it. And there you can see all the plugins. And there's the Trend Investor Pro Indicator Edge plugin. And you can click that link to read the documentation on all the indicators. There's a video as well. So there are the 5 indicators in the trend composite. And then you will see the 5 indicators in the momentum composite. There we go. And you can adjust these settings to make it more or less sensitive than you want. I typically do CCI above and below 100 and -200, and I do a normalized rock of 5 periods. So here is QQQ, and you can see the trend composite turning bullish there in mid-April. It was the first of the major indexes to get that trend composite bullish, and it didn't change. It stayed bullish, and all 5 indicators have been bullish since May. Now keep in mind, this is a trend following indicator. All trend following indicators lag. They're going to be late to the upturn and late to the downturn. And the idea is they catch the middle part of that trend. And so we can see since hitting a new high, QQQ consolidated, and it didn't break out to a new high until recently. There you can see over the last 4 or 5 days, it got this breakout and it finally got above that high. So it is hitting a 52-week high, and that is bullish for QQQ. And you can see a similar pattern, a consolidation and breaking out of a consolidation. So basically you have this huge advance, and after this big advance, you need to rest. You need to digest those gains. You can't just sprint a marathon. If you sprint a marathon, you're going to collapse. And at some point, you have to rest, get some energy, build up some energy, and this breakout is the pause that refreshes, and now we're extending higher, and this is a bullish configuration. We can see the momentum composite had 3 indicators oversold there in late October, and that was a nice heads up to a mean reversion bounce, and now we've got the breakout, which is more of a medium to long-term situation. So let's look at some of the key tech-related stocks that are driving QQQ and what they portend for the future of QQQ. Google is the leader of the big 5, as I would call that. We got Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Microsoft, and you could throw Facebook in there. And if you look at Alphabet, you can see that it is breaking out of a little flag pattern and hitting a 52-week high. The others are lagging, which is interesting because they have yet to break out, and those are the ones we're watching. And there you can see that pullback in Google, Alphabet, and the oversold, the momentum composite getting to -3. And I usually like -3, -4, -5 as an oversold signal that can lead to a bounce. But anyhow, on the price chart, there's a little flag pennant thing and a breakout and a new high, and that's clearly bullish. So here is Apple, and it is a little stronger than Microsoft and Amazon in the fact that it's gotten above those November highs. And you can see a similar pattern as QQQ. We've got basically a consolidation within an uptrend. So you have this monster advance, and you need to digest those gains. And we start digesting them with a consolidation, a sideways price action. And there you can see the momentum composite hitting -3 right near that October low. And now we're breaking out of this triangle to signal a continuation higher. And, I would put Apple more in the consumer discretionary realm than the technology realm. Sure, their iPhones are high tech and MacBooks are high tech, but they're really selling apps and they're really selling services. And that is really what is driving Apple these days. And there is a breakout in the works, so I would expect a move to new highs in Apple. And you can see a support there with these October, November lows. And if you go below that, then you'd have to reevaluate. So here's Facebook, and again, we see a big triangle-like consolidation. And it is actually less weak than Apple in a way, because you can see that momentum composite only hit -2. It didn't really get oversold, and sometimes that happens. But, we can see this surge, consolidate, and now it looks like we're on the verge of a breakout and a continuation higher. And a breakout in Facebook would add to the Alphabet strength and the Apple breakout, and that would be really positive for the Qs. So here's Amazon, and Amazon is definitely a consumer discretionary play, even though we do have Amazon Web Services, which is clearly a technology play. But Amazon shows the same pattern here, a consolidation. And it's really at an interesting juncture here because it is near these lows here. It's near support. It's lagging a bit, but you know, it had this big monster run and you need to consolidate your gains. So I still view this as a consolidation within an uptrend. You can see the trend composite, all 5 indicators are bullish. We had a -3 in the momentum composite there in late October for this bounce. So I think as long as Amazon holds 3,000, this is a bullish configuration, a bullish setup, and I would expect at some point a breakout and a continuation higher. And finally, we have Mr. Softy, Microsoft. And again, all of these patterns are the same. The last 4 that I've showed you, Alphabet is the leader, but the rest of them are in some sort of a consolidation or breaking out. And you can see Microsoft has been consolidating with a long triangle. And what happens, you get whipsawed within the triangle, but the bigger trend is up, and that means we still expect a breakout to the upside and a continuation higher. And there you can see that momentum composite hitting -3 in late October. So Microsoft looks bullish here. So now I want to shift gears here and show you a chart that's really got a lot going on and a few lessons, I think, that we can carry forward into the future. All right, this is Walgreens Boots Alliance, WBA, and I initially tweeted this one out when we had the breakout and the trend composite turning positive for the first time in months. It was lagging, and we got a bullish trend signal. And so we got this big move up above 43, and then boom, we got this gap down. And this gap down happened when Amazon announced it was moving into the pharmacy business, and that weighed on WAG. Well, WAG's the old symbol, WBA is the new one since they merged with Boots in the UK. But if you look at this chart here, what we got going on is if you're a trend follower, this would be noise because you can see the trend composite stayed bullish. So we've had a surge and a throwback. So the first thing is trend following stays bullish until there's evidence of a trend reversal. The second thing is you had this huge move and a throwback is normal or a pullback. And so we did pull back. We pulled back rather hard, but look where we found support near broken resistance. So there's another thing, broken resistance turns support, and also near that 61.8% retracement. So you have basically 2 steps forward and a little more than 1 step backward. And that's pretty normal. So when you come into broken resistance and that retracement zone, that's potential support that can give way to a reversal. And you can see we're bouncing off that zone here. And that's a nice strong move. And it looks like the trend is going to stay bullish and continue for WBA. So again, we are watching these big and key technology stocks to see if they can break out and power the Qs higher. Because the Qs have broken out, that's a bullish breakout, and I would expect a breakout in these tech stocks. So if you'd like to know more about trendinvestorpro.com, please visit our website. We've got a number of strategies and educational articles available. Thanks again for tuning in to Next Level Charting, and have a great day.
Hey, Grayson Rose here with StockCharts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, consider giving it a like down below, maybe leave us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe at the link up above. We're gonna bring you daily content from an incredible collection of technical analysts and financial experts.